Oh, my turn?
Yeah. I thought you wanted to.
Okay.
I asked. You
Hello, and welcome back to Please Watch Our Podcast. Today, we are talking about the Conclave.
Who are
Here,
you?
I am Mitch, and I'm with my co-host, Connor. Please say hello.
Hi guys. Mitch, happy 1 year of the two almost 1 year of the podcast
One
basically.
year.
Yeah. Hey team, fun story about how we met. I was dressed as a mime, as an extra on a film,
True.
and MILF and Mitch was he had his two lights in his hands in a T pose.
Yeah. You ever
Yeah.
see Christ the Redeemer?
Yeah. That was
That.
Mitch with lights. He's also tall, so he was kind of like a nice lantern.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
a lighthouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was a foghorn.
Anyways, new Pope. So that's why we're doing Conclave.
Yep.
I've already seen it beforehand. I think this is a movie that we've both seen. So that's a first for the podcast. But I'm like, why not? It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Uh, did
I
I
loved it.
did I imagine it would be an American Pope that we would pick? No.
Pope Vaughn. Mm-hmm.
Pope Leo the
Oh,
14th,
block.
and he's from Chicago.
Yeah, he definitely has that thing on him. He got a
Yeah.
blicky under the Pope hat.
I don't ask a lot of people. I don't ask for a lot of things from people who watch our podcast. But if you can you call the Pope the Great Lakes Pope, please, people? It has a nice ring to it. The idea came to my head when we found out he was a Pope because I didn't want to call him the American Pope. Great Lakes Pope has a nicer ring to it. I don't ask a lot. Can we just call him that, please, from now on?
Yeah, what do you call a Chicagoan? He's
That's
from South Side, isn't he?
I know.
South Side Pope. South Side
Yeah,
Pope.
yeah.
I'm not doing any signs. I was
No,
about to.
no,
I was gonna
no,
get
no.
shot.
Yeah, we're too white for that. Uh, but yeah, Conclave
I'm
came out. Conclave came out last year. Really good film. Uh, I really have no way. I don't know. We can just get into the movie right now,
sure.
unless you want
It's
to say something else.
no, not really. Very
Oh, also, team. I'm so I was homeschooled and I'm Catholic. So
very
yeah,
very
people online have a new term for people who were born into the church, and they call it a cradle Catholic. I hate that. Uh,
stupid.
it's stupid. And I don't know why people are doing it. It's a whole thing. But anyways, I that's me. How about you, Mitch? Do you believe in God?
Um, I was not religious, and I'm still not religious, and I did go to a
Christian?
probably like a Baptist school,
Mm,
probably like
mm,
Presbyterian, something
mm,
like that in Barbados when I was there.
mm.
Actually, probably somewhere what to call well, fuck. No, Pentecostal Southern, whatever.
Mhm,
Um, some denomination of Protestantism in or Anglicanism in
mhm,
Barbados.
mhm.
And I never and then the closest thing was I hung out with a bunch of Jewish people from like grade 6 to 12. So like I got a
Whoa.
decent hit of that.
Yeah. Also, so I've received all the sacraments except for like sacraments of marriage, or if I wanted to become a priest, there's other sacraments to receive. So yeah, I'm confirmed.
Nice.
Connor, blah blah blah. Miguel. Miguel is my confirmed
Nice.
name. You know who Miguel is? Blessed Miguel Pro. Pretty
Oh
cool
no.
guy. He was so there's like in Mexico there was a time where you weren't allowed to be a priest and he would sneak around, he would dress up. He was an actor. He is the third oldest in his family of seven kids. Guys, I'm the third oldest out of my so many siblings. He's also the patron saint of actors. So I don't know. It was interesting too how I found him. There was just like a little paragraph about him in like a booklet that I did when I read over when I was homeschooled, and I really liked it. I think he's a good saint. Anyways, blessed. He's not a saint yet. There's no three miracles. Anyways, but yeah, that's it, team. So yeah, movie opens. I tried to find a name of who like the name of the Pope for this movie. They call him Dead Pope.
They do, yeah.
It's kind of funny. But yeah, Pope dies. So we have a conclave. And yeah, but right away you kind of this film is beautiful. The one thing I'm gonna go. I hope one day I am able to go to St. Peter's Basilica to see it because it is
It would be pretty cool.
insanely beautiful. And it's like the not the birthplace of the church, but like the headquarters of
No,
the
not
church.
even.
Nah,
Not
not
even.
close.
Oh well, I mean,
Like
if you want to say, I mean, not
headquarters of the
really.
church.
Yeah, it's definitely the headquarters,
Yeah,
like for sure.
yeah.
But it's not. It's not.
It's
No,
on.
that
Yeah,
would be
it would be.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah,
would
we know
be
what that
down
is.
that way.
We know what
Yeah.
that is. Yeah. But still insanely beautiful. I don't know. I should have looked into this more. How they filmed it. They did. I don't know if they filmed. They did not film inside the. They didn't. But like it was recreated very well. Like wow. Um. But yeah, Pope died, so now we have a conclave. Um, a lot of there's a lot of talking, but like things
The
it's
movie is
it's
mostly
mostly talking.
talking.
Yes.
It is um
It's cool though, because
it's very cool.
they're having
It,
discussions about like electing a new pope and is
yes.
like insane. All these cardinals, basically cardinals are picked by the pope to become a cardinal. When you're a
Yes.
bishop, you're picked by the pope to become, yeah. Technically, if
And
the pope were to point me out and I could be a priest
you'd
and
have to be a
point,
bishop first.
no, you can be a priest. The pope can
Oh,
make
really?
you, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It does not happen.
So as long as you're ordained, you
Yeah,
can
you
be
can,
ascended to the rank
yeah,
of
yeah.
cardinal.
It's
Oh,
not
okay.
going to happen though. Like, it does not happen, but it can. Um,
Yeah, well, I assume there's like a you
yeah,
haven't paid your dues or
yeah,
whatever kind of
yeah,
attitude
yeah.
towards it. Um,
Yeah, but still very cool. But yeah, a lot of talking. There's like 108 cardinals in this room, so a bunch of old
yeah.
men talking about stuff. I
Old
like
white
how
dudes. Well,
old
actually, not
white.
all white.
No, no,
That's
no,
not true.
no.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's not true.
yeah.
A lot of the main characters of the movie are old white dudes,
Old white
but
dudes. But
that doesn't
yeah,
actually make it
yeah.
true.
We see them. We see all their iPads get locked up. Um, Everything gets locked up. All their devices and
Yep.
everything.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
secluded from the world.
yeah. Insane, dude. I could not. Could you imagine when like our generation, our Cardinals? I'm assuming they're different. They'll be different. They'll be
Oh,
like,
dude, our Cardinals are all on Zoom. None of them actually showed up to the fucking
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Um, they're hitting
yeah.
their fuck. They're still allowed their
They're
vapes.
still around their vape. They're still hitting their vape. Best part of the movie. Still hitting their vapes. But still, yeah. So now they're locked in the room. We find Stanley. We meet Stanley Tucci as a cardinal. Great.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm
Whoever
sorry, I'm
thought of
sorry.
that?
You said
Whoever.
Stanley Coochie.
How does it say?
Stanley Tucci. You said
Tucci?
Coochie.
Oh,
Like,
SNL. You know SNL. Fuck.
yeah,
There's like
yeah,
a Coochie. That's where I got
yeah.
confused. That's where I got confused. Tucci. Stanley Tucci. My bad, team. Sorry. I'm embarrassed now.
Shut
Um,
up. Keep going.
he's there. I love him as an actor.
Oh,
He's
I love.
funny. He's a cook. He has a cookbook.
He's very, yeah, he's very,
He can be a lot of things, and he's really good at it. He's a
yeah.
great cardinal in this. Also our main
Yeah, he's
guy,
the head guy, like the head of the college, I think they call it.
yeah, like
I
very
don't,
smart. Um, yeah, it takes a lot of work to become a priest.
what, yeah, college just means
Yeah,
like
yeah,
collegiate
yeah, yeah. It takes a
of
lot of work
colleagues.
to become a priest and stuff. I have a friend who's trying to become one. It's yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
No, there's no reaction for that.
no. Um, he's chill. I talked to him
Yeah,
himself.
most, honestly, I actually quite like
Most people,
most priests, at least the ones I've met,
they're
they're
chill.
pretty chill.
Yeah.
Though I've met mostly, like Protestant,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, most the
like small
priests,
denomination
yeah,
churches kind
yeah,
of people.
yeah.
Nothing
Like
like they
my
serve their community and that's about it kind of thing.
like I
Um,
like my grandma knows a lot of priests, so I grew up
mm.
like seeing a lot of priests, and they're funny. They make jokes with you. They're like,
Met a rabbi once. Sorry.
"That's cool." I haven't met that. I met a bishop, and I weird thing. It's yeah,
You floundered?
yeah. I had to serve
Okay.
with a bishop. I was an altar boy, and I had to serve with a bishop. I had to hold. Don't judge me, people. I had to take off the hat and put the hat back on when he sat down or stood up. I forget what it's called. Don't get mad
Dude,
at
that's
me.
so just put it on yourself, man.
No,
That's
no. The
why?
only That's insane. The only thing
Is that sacrilegious?
you should not do that.
Oh,
You
no,
should
no, not
not.
you. I mean, he
Oh,
puts it on himself.
oh, well,
No,
it
not
depending.
you put on the hat.
Okay, I thought
No,
you were saying,
obviously don't
yeah,
put
yeah.
you put on the hat. You didn't fucking
Well,
earn it.
like if he didn't have enough people to serve, like altar boys, he would do it himself. But like we had them, so he's like, you don't wanna.
Yeah,
And it was like my sibling getting confirmed, so I'm like, oh, I'll serve for it.
that
Why
feels
not?
weird. That
What
feels
feels
weird.
weird?
I don't know. Having like little boys take off your hat every time you fucking stand up and sit down
And he
feels
also he
just
has
keep
a
it in your back pocket.
don't again, people don't judge me. He had a stick too, so it'd be like stand
Oh, the
up, give it
staff.
the staff. Yeah, he had the staff too. Stand up, give him the staff. Also
It's so tough.
all the staffs are different, so that's kind of
Yeah.
fucking awesome. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
well, it's like your rod of office.
Yeah.
It's,
Fun. One more thing. The two. He has two little
it's from
like
Rome.
he has two little pieces of fabric that run down the side, right? Two on the back of
Yeah,
the
the
hat. One's for Old Testament, one's for New Testament. That's kind of cool.
really.
And I learned about that. I was like, that's neat. Very cool.
So it's
Yeah,
just two ribbons.
yeah. Ribbons. Thank you. But yeah, and again, everything I've talked about they have a fancy name for it, and I cannot think of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah, sorry guys.
you never mind.
But yeah, Bishops are pretty cool team. Cardinals are pretty cool. They're this movie again, a lot of talking, but it's interesting because they're debating about it again.
Yeah.
Because Stanley,
It's theological,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
political, it's
yes,
you're getting these awful acts of like you don't understand what's
hmm
quite happening. Is
hmm
it God speaking to them?
or is it yourself?
Or are they seeking God in
Yeah,
these mundane things?
yeah.
Um, and it's quite this. It's so hard to like. I don't think we're gonna go through the events of the story
Not
exactly
too
as they
much. Yeah,
go
no.
because it's mostly just like. Well, this guy then talked to this guy, and
Yeah,
then this guy talked to this guy.
it
And
is.
without explaining
Yeah.
every aspect of every conversation,
hmm
we will just lose the track. So we're going to
Yeah,
probably hit big
yeah,
points
yeah.
throughout the story that
I,
maintain the themes of the actual movie.
so Stanley Tucci, whatever, guys. I don't want, I'm gonna fuck it up
No,
again.
you got it. You got
Oh,
it. You got it.
sick. Okay, he's talking.
The
They're talking.
Toochmeister.
Yeah, they're talking in like it looks like a theater kind of thing. All sitting there. Our main guy.
Tucci.
No,
Oh,
he's
Fiends.
not.
Ralph Fiennes. Sorry.
Ralph Fiennes, Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Yeah, he's there too. And they're having discussion about
Or
another
Fines. Whatever.
another.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, another cardinal who is very conservative, and they don't want him at all. And Stanley's like, "Here's what I think. Here's what." Because trying to become pope, he's like, "This is what I think. I'm pro gay people,
Mm-hmm.
um, pro women helping us work,
Yeah,
and
which was
which
like,
is
which
no,
is
yeah,
actually one of the biggest contentions of the movie.
which is
Like,
insane,
which,
which is insane. The like, how many nuns? Nuns are the purest people I've ever met.
aren't they married to God? Is
They're
that like
married.
the shtick?
They're married
Or
to the
Jesus?
church. They're married
Or
to the
to the
church.
church? To the
Um, it's
church?
basically a wedding when they go up to
Yes, yeah,
become. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. A bunch
most.
of never mind. This is a non sequitur, but a bunch of women got burned for that. Like
Yeah.
1300s, they
hmm
can claim to be like the brides of
mm
like
mm
that they would
Okay.
become maintain like
Yeah.
ascetic lifestyles,
Yeah.
essentially nuns, and that they would marry a divine essence
mhm,
essentially, and thus become a conduit for it
Yeah.
on earth. And then they got murdered for it
No.
by
And
the church.
no, it is very insane. Like if I was team, don't. This is my fucking ego. If I was a pope, I would let women work. Like have women work in the church more. Because my dad's not Catholic. My dad's United. My mom's Catholic. You know? Like my mom raised me in the faith. You know?
No,
Like
the usually that's
how it works. Like that's
yeah.
yeah, especially in the church. So it's insane that people would have to think that is just for men to work in the church. No. No.
No, just
Yeah, exactly.
well, specifically, I think it's the cardinal and like bishops, because obviously
Yes.
nuns are a fact of the Catholic Church.
Yes.
They do exist. We're not arguing that.
Mhm.
It's, I think, within like the college of cardinals or whatever,
Yeah.
they don't have or interact with
With
many
not yeah, they don't
women,
yeah. Yeah.
nuns or otherwise. Do nuns were like. No, no, because you can't be like a priest or anything, so you're basically just a nun or nothing, right?
Yeah, you can work with like it's most likely if you're a cardinal, you're most likely seeing working with
Nuns.
nuns. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like,
assume. Like I get it. I imagine them all working, and this like one lady in a
mhm,
pantsuit and like a briefcase walks
yeah.
in, and she's just like, "Okay, here's what's happening."
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Again, nuns are great. They're very hardworking. They do a lot of charity work. I love nuns,
yeah, nuns are cool.
They're,
Well,
yeah,
they can suck, but old
but
nuns,
they're
they're
not, they're
bitter.
not perfect. No one's perfect. Um, but they're not bad. I'm out of
No,
line. I'm
no,
out of
no
line
one's no
here.
one's bad.
Yeah, no. Um, yeah. Anyways,
The fact of becoming a nun does not make you good or bad. You
yeah,
are just none.
yeah, exactly. And you should be able to work in the church more.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Um, Lord Voldemort finds out that
Hmm.
finds out that there is a new cardinal that no one knew about, and he is in like a cardinal from Afghanistan, and he was ordained a year ago. So everyone's find out about that. No one really knew about it. Fun fact, team: the Pope that we have now, he was converted to a cardinal by Pope Francis in 2023. So that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Two
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
He also has a family. That's kind of cool.
He has a family. Yeah, he does have
Yeah,
a family. He was
yeah,
also a missionary for a
yeah.
long time. Uh, and pretty much, for some reason, I'm interested in this. I've looked up a bunch of like
Mm,
interviews and like firsthand accounts of the
mm.
guy, and pretty much everyone talked about him like, yeah, this guy has like some insane like obsession with helping the poor.
Yeah,
Like, and I'm like, oh, that's probably
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
like the only thing I'd want a pope
Yeah,
for.
I saw the interview with his brother and he was joking with him saying like they were Cain and they were joking with like you're gonna become Pope one day and then he actually became fucking Pope. So that's kind of cool. Guys, I'm gonna swear. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Big G probably has
yeah.
better things to do
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
smite you for saying
Exactly.
fuck.
Exactly. Um I think he's a chill dude, you know. I like Pope
The
Francis
Pope or
too.
G.
G and the popes in general, not all of them. I love JB too. Love JB too.
Yep.
Really good guy. My parents met him. Story time, everyone. Sorry. My he came to Toronto and my parents went to see him. My dad was in his early 30s. My mom was like 24, I think. So they went to yeah, there's a gap. So they went to see him. There was like a World Youth Day. My dad was just at the age limit where he couldn't go anymore. So they went to see the Pope. Pouring rain, hot, bishops and everything losing their hats. JB2 walks onto the stage. It clears. Kind of fucking cool. He's a saint for a reason. Anyways,
Is he a saint?
yeah, Jape,
Do you
yeah, yeah.
become a saint if you're a pope? Just right off
No,
the
you
bat?
got it. You still got to
No,
do the
really.
three
You still
miracles.
gotta
Yeah,
earn it. You still gotta
I
earn it.
I do think it helps
But
that
like
you're the
what
Pope.
quantifies
It helps that you're the Pope that a lot of people know about you and they can pray
yeah,
for
what
you.
quantifies a miracle though?
Like healing yourself. I forget the miracles that happened to
Healing
J.
yourself?
No,
So just
healing people and like certain things. I forget the miracles that happened with JP2. I
it's
will send
usually
you.
healing people because
Yeah,
like that's like a shitload of what
yeah.
Jesus did. I mean, mostly what Jesus did was like exorcisms
Yeah, I will
of
like
like
it's for
demons and
my
shit.
I know for Blessed Miguel Pro there was someone who was like very sick, forget what kind of sickness. They put a holy like the card because when you become like when you go to heaven it's like talks to becoming a saint, people make holy cards for you and
Hmm.
someone put one under his pillow and the person became a lot better very quickly. So he was able to be colonized he was able to become blessed from that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It is pretty cool. But yeah, basically you need to do three of them and then you become it's like one, I forget what the first one's called, but then it goes from that like there's a chance you
You're
become a saint, and then it's blessed and then saint. So there's a lot of blessed is like being blessed. There's a lot of people, like a lot of people out there who are blessed, like a lot of like soon to be saints that are still blessed. So it's neat. It's a fun rabbit hole to go down. But yeah, yeah, yeah. We get our first vote and really cool team. They have like discussions beforehand about one guy, I forget his name, um, but he's very conservative and people are talking to Stanley about it, and he's like, "Well, team, he is a black man, so we will have our first black pope. Kind of a big deal." Uh, but it would be it would have been a very conservative black pope. We almost had that here too. There was talks of one guy becoming a pope. It didn't happen. Um, yeah, I looked at his name. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it. Anyways,
What, Adeyemi?
Abiemi. Oh, thank you. Anyways, we voted. Didn't work out. Next day, but something's happened. There's a banging at the door. There's a little bit of a fight, and Lord Voldemort hears it. What's happening? Um, we have a discussion with our the guy who's gonna play. I forget the John Lithgow.
John
Yeah,
Lithgow.
Lithgow. He's gonna
Jonathan
be
Lithgow.
Dumbledore. He's gonna be Dumbledore in the
How I Met Your
new.
Mother,
Yeah,
Dexter.
yeah. He's gonna be new
Yeah.
Dumbledore in the new Harry Potter movie
He's
show.
also a prolific actor from the.
Yeah, he was Lord Farquaad. Some of you may
Yeah,
die. That was my best impression.
that's
Um,
pretty good.
Thank you. Anyways, they have a little chat about stuff, about him becoming Pope. And the whole time, Lord Voldemort's like, guys, I don't want to be Pope. But how everyone else saw him when he said that, it's like, guys, I don't want to be Pope. This is what they saw. Guys, don't make
They
me
saw
Pope.
Pope. No, yeah, it's literally
It's funny. It's
it's
funny.
also like
Mhm.
it's a pretty standard
Yeah. Like, if I was
thing
a
of like,
cardinal,
oh, only the divine would reject divinity,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, if I was a cardinal, I don't want to be Pope. Don't make me Pope, please.
no, fuck no. I have
No,
so much more responsibility,
I would hate
and
it.
I basically have the same pay.
Yeah. Well, I looked into it. The new pope is like $2,800 a month. That's rent in Toronto. He couldn't afford an apartment in Toronto.
$2,800 a month, but
But you're the
also,
pope. You get bed
but
and
you're
board.
also
Yeah.
you have the entire Catholic Church at your disposal.
Yeah.
The entire
Yeah. Catholic
Catholic
Church. Yeah.
Church
At your yeah.
at your disposal.
2 billion people.
Two, is that just Christians or Catholics in general?
I think it's Catholics in general. I might be wrong. It might
Two
let's say 1
billion
billion. Let's say
Catholics?
1 billion. 1 billion be safe.
Okay, wait, sorry, I have to Google this. How many Catholics are there in the world? 1.4 billion
Okay.
Catholics.
Okay.
Half of About half of all Christians.
Okay.
So I think it's a little less than half, I think.
Okay.
Um,
Is it a billion though? A bill?
it's 1.4 billion
There we
for
go.
Catholics, and then
Yeah.
I think in total it's about 4 billion Christians.
Mm. Wow.
Um,
Wow. Um,
no, three something, but whatever.
Also, team, they brought up it's still a debate in the Catholic community. Latin in church and how it should be brought back. Like people still want to bring back Latin. And I literally like Lord Voldemort's like it's a dead language. And then the other guy's like, it's like that's my
It's
mom.
tradition.
That's my mom.
I mean, I fuck with Latin
Latin's cool, but it is
as a language, but it's also and like it it was incredibly useful for like
mhm.
scholarly
Yeah.
shit. You kind of had like a
And it
language
makes
that only scholars
I
knew, and then
I get
but
the
that also made it super inaccessible.
yes. And I get
And that's
the
the kind of the
mhm,
opposite
mhm,
point of what you're
mhm.
trying to do as a
Yes.
church. You don't want to
Yes.
make it esoteric. You don't want to make
Yes.
it weird. You don't want to make it like like hard to understand,
Yep.
but in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Like,
it's saying God has three facets consistently all at the same time while also being distinctly those three things
mhm,
separately
mhm.
is confusing, but it's not
Yes.
necessarily like off-putting. It's
Yep.
like
Yeah.
tell me more.
Yeah.
But if someone told you that in fucking Latin,
They wouldn't,
what the fuck
yeah,
would you even like
it
fuck you?
wouldn't
What do you mean?
stick in there really. Like,
No,
I
they'd be
get,
like, this guy's talking in
no,
spells. Like
like,
this guy's, my furniture's gonna start
yeah,
floating.
guys, I go to a Latin mass, okay? Okay? I go to a
I
Latin
like
mass.
Latin mass.
I go to a
I
Latin mass
think
every
it should
Sunday.
just. Do they do
Like,
it both in Latin and English or
yeah,
just
well, like,
Latin?
it's mostly, well, everywhere it's like their own language now. Like everyone does it in their own native tongue.
Yeah.
I understand the arguments like, well, what if we just you need to make Latin more accessible then for people. You need to have like a
Yes.
Latin class.
Like yeah, like if
You have to do it. Yeah.
Sunday school was also a language school,
Yeah.
like
It,
how Hebrew, like
Hebrew would
how
do. Yeah. That's like how you would have to do
Jewish
it.
people,
Yes.
um,
That's how you have
yeah.
to do it. I listen, team. I tried to learn Latin. It was a 2 hour long fucking class. 2 hours is you can't learn a language in 2 hours.
Mhm.
Guys, guess who got kicked out of that class?
Shocker.
Shocker, I know.
Stanley
Dyslexic?
Tucci over here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, no. I loved the debate. Like, if you're a Catholic, would I recommend this movie? Yeah, but don't.
It's not it's a secular movie
Hmm.
with
Catholic
a Catholic
theme. Yeah.
shell
Yeah.
almost. It's telling a story about politics and tradition
Hmm.
through
Hmm.
the guise of a Catholic conclave for a pope.
Yeah.
It brings up like facets of God, but it's not necessarily trying to push the Catholic God on you or
Hmm.
represent it as right. They just do you find God in every day? Do you see it, or are
Hmm.
you reaching? Is God communicating with you? Does
Yeah.
God even give a shit enough to care, like to communicate with you? I mean, you specifically, not like everyone in
Yeah.
general, but like, are you important enough to
Yeah.
warrant God's attention?
Yeah. No,
Um,
yeah. Like faith in itself, it is I I think it's a good thing to walk away from it, not be you can, cling to it a lot, but also take a step back, maybe like reflect on things. It's good.
yeah,
Both are good. Fuck. Both are good, you know? I don't think you should be mad at people for, stepping away from the faith if they need to. You should be there, pray for them. Don't be rude, you know?
no,
And like there's nothing wrong with that, honestly, you know? But yeah, we do our first vote. We get black smoke. Um, the media finds out about this new cardinal. It would be insane to be in that world and you find out that like, oh, there's a cardinal no one knew about. That would be insane to find out about. Like actually insane. Um, you know, they're talk about they're starting to figure out something's happening with one bishop. What's the cardinal's name? It's a A, begins with A.
Adeyemi.
Abney Abdi. We're starting to find out there's something up with that. And Stanley,
Oh yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
remember. Yeah, yeah.
Stanley and Lord Voldemort's having a discussion, and they're like Lord Voldemort's like the conclave isn't, it's not like it's just we're trying to find a new pope and stuff, and Stanley's like it's a war, it's a war, like
Yeah.
it's serious. Um, Also, I don't know if you're getting this, but I'm getting a lot of TikTok edits of this movie, and it's funny.
A little bit.
It's kind of funny. I
I did when
see.
it first came out.
Yeah, I'm still getting them. Sorry, guys. Am I
Well,
gonna
you
make
just
one?
watched it today,
Yeah, true. Am
so
I gonna make
it's
one?
listening.
Maybe. Yeah, it. But yeah. Oh, we find out. So we basically we find out that what's his name again? The one pope. The begins with A. Can you say his name for me?
Adeyemi.
Adiyami. He had a child with a nun who, when she was 19, and he was in his late 30s. And the whole discussion about that was really well written. He was like, I was like him and Lord Voldemort having a whole discussion, a debate about this. And he's trying his best to be like, listen, I failed. I know I did. I need to, like I worked so hard for this, please. And then at the like his last Hail Mary, he's like, I was young. And then the truth bomb kind of falls, and Lord Voldemort's like, she was young. You were 30. And it's
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
it's a the whole movie is a like a commentary on how individuals within a society or structure or
Hmm.
whatever you want to call
Hmm.
it do not necessarily reflect the entire structure as a whole, but however, the people inside, okay, how do I describe this? You can strive to be an ideal or follow an ideal and still not be ideal yourself.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, if that makes any sense. So no, just because they are bishops or cardinals
Yeah.
does not make them better. They're
No.
still human. They still air
Yeah.
their sin. They're not good people, and it's there's a lot of them who just plainly are bad people.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and yet they are
Cart.
high,
Yeah. High up in the
high
church.
up
Yeah.
in the church, about as
Yeah.
high as you can go.
Yep. Yep. And it's
Literally as high as you can go
yeah.
until where they are at right now,
Yeah.
where they're all making their case.
Yeah. I do not think you should complain about this part of the movie. If there's things to complain about, but like this part of the movie is a very good point that very the church takes advantage of younger people using, power,
Yeah, it does.
and it happens so much. And it's something
And
that,
not only just takes advantage of them, they hide it.
yeah,
They actively
hide it.
make steps
Hmm.
to avoid even criminal
Yep.
prosecution
Yep.
for
Like
certain things.
team, so we're both from Canada, and there's kind of like there's a bombshell that happened not that long ago about residential schools, and a lot of bad things have happened, and people still debate about it. Like bad things have happened. You cannot disagree that bad things have happened there, and people will. It's like, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. And like the Pope apologized, but like it's too little too late. The Pope apologized in 2022. The last school was open in 1996. It is insane that it took that long to stop this, you know? I'm happy
Yeah.
like it's a good part. I really like this part of the movie that they kept it in to show like
Yes.
yes, there's a lot of good things happen in the church, but a lot of bad things can also happen. And yeah, that's yeah. I guess we'll move on. Very
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um.
the movie
Mhm.
I very much enjoy it. Um it it it's very organic in the
Mhm.
way it tackles so many different issues. Where like it's so many of these issues that everyone talks about, but you never really bring up
Yeah.
in a conversation because you never have to.
Yes.
You
And
never
I.
have to talk about this.
Mhm.
But this
Mhm.
is the one place you
You
have to
have to.
bring
Yes.
everything you have
Have
in your
yes.
soul to bear.
Yep. Because you're going to become the head of the church,
Yes.
and you cannot. I also liked how it was in a closed room. No one was there. It was Lord Voldemort and the nun. Forget her name. Sorry. But like confronting him and being there for her. And then again, in a room, just two people. It's not a crowd of people. It's like you can't become a pope because of this. Oh, they also have a kid. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Like you cannot become a pope. But yeah,
No.
no.
You gotta
I,
be a virgin,
yep,
right?
yep, yeah, yeah.
Which is like, come on,
Come
give them a little
on.
bit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. When you become a
I
deacon,
think like once you never mind. That's
no.
sacrilegious. That's
Yes.
full on blasphemy.
Yeah, the
Never
only
mind.
way you could have a family and be like you could be a deacon and have a family unless you become a deacon before you have a family, then you can't.
So yeah, you have to lock in first
Yeah.
and then ascend through the
Or
ranks.
lock in or have a family, be like, oh, I'm feeling a calling to the church and become a deacon.
Okay, do you have to abstain afterwards?
I don't know.
So like you just don't
I'm not
have sex with your
asking
wife?
I'm not asking that question.
But
I
but
think
like
you're
that
you're
that's
married.
the,
You're
you're
married.
married and under God, isn't it like your
You're be
right to
I'm gonna say, you know
procreate?
what? If people
But
people can say
does
otherwise,
your
mhm,
duty to God supersede your duty to your wife in the
nah,
sanctimony
nah.
of
I think you're good. But if your wife dies, you can't remarry or anything like that. So, ooh,
damn,
yeah, because I have a friend who has a sibling who's a deacon and he can't have a family or anything.
that sucks.
I know, I know. But yeah, where are we? Vote two happens. I like how when this vote happens, they say their names and you see all the cardinals kind of just
Yeah,
sitting
you really
there.
you start to put like some new characters show up, some
Yeah,
old characters
yeah,
finally get like some more
yeah,
depth.
yeah,
Depth.
yeah, yeah. And it's again, this film's so well filmed, so it looks really good. I don't think it won for an Oscar. It won Best Writer, so
That
which
makes
also
sense.
that makes sense. Yeah,
The
and
dialogue
it's
just
yeah,
I always find
hmm
as a amateur, sure,
yes,
whatever.
same.
But in the sense of the truest word, for the
Hmm
love of the game,
hmm
writer, I always find dialogue is such
Dialogue,
a it's only hard because you don't want everyone sounding the same. And when I write dialogue, I inevitably
yeah,
just write it in my voice,
yep,
kind of a lot of the time, and
yeah,
I have to go back and like, okay, this is the core message of
hmm
what I'm trying to say,
hmm
but he wouldn't say it like that.
No, like
Um,
the first script, again, I'm not much of a writer. I dabble. Um, my first like script, literally like I had someone read over it and they point out to me right away. It's like, so the end of like the end of your story, there's just someone telling you everything. And I
yeah.
didn't even fucking notice till like I handed it to someone else. So,
Yeah, no, it's dialogue it's difficult to
yeah.
capture and express unique voice without
hmm
um
Yeah.
without like vagary or genericism and not real like proper distinction. You can write like very vague words that are anyone would use, or like you can, or my preferred way is finding these people's what they would use, like what
hmm
words would they use, how
Pull it
were they
yeah,
raised,
pull
why
it
would they say it, why
yeah,
would they say it now, how
yeah,
would they say it now,
yeah. I
how is
looked,
it that why is that the first word that pops into their head? Like if
mhm.
I like if you had to use a
And
synonym over the actual word, like kind of
And
thing.
another thing is like these are all cardinals. They're all went through 7 years of seminary. They're all smart people, you know?
They're very intelligent.
That's why
All
they're
these people
yeah.
have to be highly educated. Remember,
So
these people, however, um, like however your view on religion or whatever, right?
yeah.
These people are highly educated.
Yep.
They are incredibly scholarly and
Yep.
incredibly intelligent, and none of them are not at least of in some way deserving of some respect in some area kind of
hmm
thing. Not
Like
not
you yeah,
not
like
respect as like a person because a lot of people suck.
yeah.
But like if you were to say like if they wrote an academic article, you wouldn't just throw it out, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You would be like, okay, this guy put an academic article together.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, is
Exactly.
kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And like it's yeah, also that I looked into it. I think his name's Peter, cannot remember his last name. Peter, he was Catholic.
Who?
Peter, the guy who wrote the book, like he wrote this movie, he was Catholic. I can't think of the last name.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, oh.
So guys, I went to a
I
Catholic.
thought you meant like
No,
the
my bad.
Peter.
My bad
And I
team.
was like, no
No.
shit.
Yeah, my bad team. So I went to a Catholic college and the amount of I was the only person there named Connor. I know several Peters now.
Well,
Yeah,
who you,
several.
well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you're a bunch of Catholics, I feel like
I know so
the
many.
Catholic is
Yeah.
probably,
I know so many Elizabeths.
yeah.
I know so many Jameses. It's fun. It's fun time, fun time. But yeah, still the dialogue it was so good in this movie. It's like it's you need to watch it twice to get more out of it. Um, this is the kind of movie you sit down and watch 2 times. Focus 100% if you can. If not, whatever. But yeah, let's see. Where am I now? They are they are really trying to. So now they're at the point where they're trying to take votes. Like they're trying to talk to other people, trying to get other people in. Um, they want Stanley to be the guy. They want him to be the Pope, right? Lord Voldemort's
Mhm.
like, guys, I don't want to be the Pope. That's how everyone sees him. Uh, People are still voting for Lord Voldemort because he doesn't want to be the Pope.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like, oh, well, obviously the guy who doesn't want to do it will do the best job.
yes, exactly.
And which is a stupid fallacy that never ever fall to.
Yeah,
Um, it's absolutely the absence of logic and reason, you fucking morons. But that's okay.
Yeah. They really do not want I can't say his name. Tedesco.
Tedesco.
Tedesco, thank you. They don't want to be Pope, and they're trying to separate it, trying to be like other people who are getting lower votes, trying to be like, this is why you should vote for
Oh
blah blah
yeah, he's a
blah.
shitter. He's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
He's
he
he is
is.
he's the like hardcore conservative guy in the
Yes,
room who's
yes,
like he's your uncle at Thanksgiving who's talking over everyone.
yeah, yeah. He's kind of older too. Also, you can't be 80 and be a Pope. You gotta be like under 75, I think. So that's
Well,
kind of
yeah,
cool.
you can't lock in and then die within like the
Yeah,
next 2 or 3 years.
yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, if you're wondering, our newest pope is 69. And
Really?
and he also saw this movie.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I think he watched it before the Conclave
Yes, he
too.
did.
Like he watched the
Yeah.
Conclave and then went, and then people
Because,
were like, I saw people trying to like pass it off, like
you
he
know,
didn't know what he was doing and he watched it to learn and whatever. And I'm
well,
like, are you fucking stupid?
he's smart. He was just curious. Because
Yeah, no, he's literally about to go to the Conclave and they made a movie about
why
the
not?
Conclave.
Yeah.
Who, like,
He
if I was going
he has
to
been
some event and there was a
yeah.
famous fucking movie,
Why not?
critically acclaimed movie about
Yeah.
the event, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
He's only been a cardinal for 2 years. Well, now he's pope, but like, why not? You know? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like, yeah, it shouldn't be,
Yeah. Like, why not
it
watch it?
shouldn't be like an elder
Hmm.
it shouldn't be like a tradition of the elder person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be you shouldn't be picked just because you were there the longest or
Yeah.
you've been doing the most at that time. Like if you did a lot in 2 years, you s- doesn't that mean you should still deserve something,
Hmm.
even if the other guy was spent 15 years
Hmm.
building to the same level?
Yeah.
Um,
They could, again, this is me watching this morning. An idea came to my mind. Like, they could make this movie again very easily. 20 years later, get a lot of very talented older male actors and have another conclave. You don't need to call it Conclave 2. I don't know, call it something. But, like, you can have
Conclave
a,
Boogaloo.
they can have a discussion about, like, people who were born Catholic, left the faith, how we can, do something with that, blah 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 blah. They can have another movie if they want to. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah. They can have a discussion. They can make jokes about how JD Vance killed the Pope, Pope Francis.
He
As a
also started
joke.
a war in India and Pakistan. Do you see
Oh,
that?
no.
Yeah, like literally he went to the Pope, Pope died, right?
Hmm.
Went to India and Pakistan, they started shooting missiles at each other. He's actually like the horseman of the apocalypse. Like he's
Yeah.
bringing death where he goes. He also
Yeah.
looks like one. Like he's so
Yeah. Now, okay, so now at this point in the movie, they're trying to figure out how this nun who never left her country came to the Vatican. They're trying to figure out how she got here.
Mhm.
Pretty cool. Um, Lord Voldemort goes into the Pope's bedroom, which mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm, you don't do that. We lock it down. Uh, he basically finds papers and stuff about it, about certain things. He's also getting whispers about um the cardinal from
Afghanistan.
yeah, and how he's like he went to the doc like the Pope paid for his like medical bills or something.
And we hear about that, but we don't know
What it
anything
is. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
So that's happening. A lot's happening. It's a messy conclave. I think the longest conclave we've had in history was like almost 2 years. That would suck.
Really.
Almost maybe like a year. It was a long time. It was like year, 6 months, 2 years, long time.
When
Um,
was that?
like 19, not ni 1500 or something crazy. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, we'll find. We're things are getting ooh.
Yeah, things
Um,
are picking up. That we're
yeah,
learning about I think we're learning about like corruption, like other people.
yep,
Uh Other people have opinions that are slowly coming to light
yeah.
about
There's
either
yeah,
anti-liberalism or more
More
liberalism,
liberalism, yeah.
and then the contention between those two camps.
Hmm.
We learn about what his face Tremblay, I think his
Tremblay,
name is.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
The
he's the one paying off people,
Yeah,
or at least there's
which
rumors of that. No, 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 he did do it. He did do it.
he did do it.
Um,
If that gets out, that'll be like,
you're
oh,
fucked.
you're fucked. Like
No,
you
no,
can't become a
you're not.
yeah,
Not only are you not becoming a pope, you're probably going to have to be asked to step down
yeah,
as a cardinal.
yeah,
Um, actually, probably as a member of the church in general.
yeah. No, you cannot do that.
Um,
Very bad.
no, no. When your whole fucking thing is moral
Yeah,
superiority,
yeah,
you can't really do bad things and
yeah,
be get away with it.
yeah. Basically,
Well,
so
actually, never mind. Never
yeah,
mind. That's kind of like the whole point
yeah,
of the movie is that
yeah,
they
yeah,
all did. But
yeah.
um
But yeah,
and
no.
then there was the terrorist attack that
Oh
came
no,
in.
wait. They print out. This
Oh,
is funny, team. He printed out the documents. Basically, a sister hands out the documents. Everyone's on the table, so everyone has access to um finding out that like what's his name paid for to become pope,
yep.
and it kind of blows out of proportion. One guy walks away, and then another pope pulls out his vape. Great, great. I love
Yeah, it's
that.
pretty great.
Yeah, and
It
listen,
was pretty.
vaping versus smoking.
Yeah.
You know, I think vaping's better, right? Or no?
Smoking looks cooler
Yeah,
and it kills you faster, which is really what you want.
true.
I'm not
Uh,
smoking because I like living.
yeah. I also like how the sister says in that scene, it's like, guys, I'm not supposed to be. It's like, I know we're not supposed to be seen, but he literally did this. He brought the nun here. And so that also happened. It's a big blow up, big fight team. And then,
Yeah, and then the fight, isn't it literally like punctured by the blowing up?
yep, there's a big bomb. It's another vote, and they're about to Lord Voldemort's about to cast his vote, and then big bomb happened, big explosion. Um, yeah, and they're
Yeah, a
all
bit of the wall breaks through.
yep, yep. We find
Light
out,
shines through. There's some
yeah,
imagery there. Blah
yeah,
blah blah.
52 people died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Um,
Like, oh,
and then Tedesco,
yes,
the really fucked up conservative one, starts basically he ruins his entire case by
yep,
essentially declaring a holy war against Islam.
yes,
Um, and essentially saying like we've tolerated them long enough. We
yeah.
have to show them the true power of God. And then everyone in the room is like, "Ooh,
Ooh, like no, that's
yikes!"
the opposite of what we want to
What
do.
the fuck? They like the guys who are blowing things up think they're already in a holy war. Why would we want to actually
Yeah,
like accentuate that?
yeah,
Um,
crazy old man. Yeah. But yeah, basically then at that point we have what's his name? Say his name again. I forget his name.
Tedesco, the conservative
Hideo.
one,
Yeah. No, no, not the conservative one.
Adiyami.
Adium. He stands up, right? Nope. Another person. I can't think of the name, dude.
Benitez, the actual like main character guy,
No, the guy who
Benitez.
becomes the Pope. Is it
Benitez.
Benias? He stands up. He's like, guys, I've seen
Yeah, he's
war.
the main character.
I've seen
I would
war.
say.
Yeah. Well, Lord Voldemort's the main character, and then yeah, it's
Well,
obviously
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He's leading the conclave, so main character makes
yeah.
sense.
Sorry, not yeah.
You're
He's
so good.
yeah. He becomes the Pope. Yeah, I guess he's not
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I
Um,
just remember him more, just
yeah,
or
no.
them or whatever.
Him,
Him
him.
distinctly.
Yeah.
No,
But yeah, he has a little whole discussion about everything. It's like, guys, I've seen blah 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 blah. And then they do another vote, and it's funny. They're not even really thinking about it. They're like, I want to get out of here. That's how I saw it the second time watching it. Just like everyone's writing on their paper as quick as they can. Because
yeah,
if
the
I
one
was,
guy who
yeah,
thought of a speech on the spot, I'd probably be like, okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. And like right after like something off a terrorist attack happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you can get up after a terrorist attack and deliver a rousing speech,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
follow you.
yeah. So everyone's like writing him
At
in.
least for like a couple months.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone's writing him in, and he wins. I forget. I looked into his
Innocent.
name, Innocent. I don't think there's a saint. I don't know. I really didn't look into it that much. There is.
Pope
Okay.
Innocent. There's been many Pope
Might
Innocents.
be, might be, might be team.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty common Pope name,
Yeah. Anyways, he does.
just
He
like
gets.
Leo
Yeah. Yeah. He
or
does.
Francis.
Or Francis? No, there's
Or
one pope. Only one Pope Francis. He was the first.
That's true.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Was he a Franciscan? Is that why?
No, I don't remember. Do not
Okay.
remember.
Or was his name
My
actually
mom and I looked
Francis?
into it. Only one Pope Peter.
Well, that makes sense.
It does make sense. Imagine the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, this is fun. JD, there's a JD2, right? The Pope before him was Pope John Paul the First.
Yeah.
He died
JP.
in a month, and then JD2 became Pope John Paul II. That's cool,
Well,
right? Listen,
yeah,
you can't
that's
deny there's
kind of
something
cool,
there.
but that's also like
Yeah.
you didn't really think that hard, did you? You just were like, "Oh,
Well, he
yeah,
probably had
just give me
a
the last one, but the next one."
well, he had a calling for it. I'm assuming he would have been the first one if they didn't pick that one. It's funny he died a month later. Yeah, anyways, continuing on, we find out the new pope has what do they call it? What's it called? Well, he's
He's
intersex.
an intersex,
Yeah.
so he possesses female reproductive organs,
Yes,
but he
yes.
also outwardly perceives
Thieves as
kind
a
of
man.
as a
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
and he perceives himself as a
As a
man,
man.
raised
So
as a man, blah blah
yeah.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I think they don't ever talk about they talk about having a uterus and ovaries, but they don't really talk about
Hmm.
having um, you know,
Like
you know,
but
yeah, like they don't talk about
yeah.
that, which um I don't know. To me, that would make it like because that was kind of one of the like questions in the movie was like
Yeah.
he went and got like doctor's treatments and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I was just confused because I didn't know like did he know
Hmm.
his entire life that he
He
was
didn't really
intersex?
know till he was like in
Exactly,
his
but then
30s.
you would like if you didn't
No.
have
Yeah.
it would be pretty clear that something was
Yes.
not different.
They didn't go into detail
You
with
know what
it,
exactly. So
so
it was
it's
just
kind of like
it wasn't really necessary to the plot, but it did
yeah,
kind of it did the whole conceit of
like
him not knowing bothered me
yeah.
slightly when it's a very
Okay, whatever. We're fuck. Any like it is like I don't hate it, but like again, when you have certain things in this movie and then you just it feels like an add-on. You know what I mean?
it did feel like a tack on in the end. But I do enjoy
Hmm.
intersex and like the whole idea of them ascending to a holy figure.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense to me, at least in my mind, that a holy figure closer to the closest being to God we have on earth would be share both traits of both
Yeah. And
aspects of humanity.
it
Like
wouldn't
to me, that
happen.
makes the most
It
sense.
would not happen in real life.
No, it would never happen in real life,
Yeah.
even though to me, at least in my mind, it makes the
Hmm.
most sense to
Hmm.
have someone who can encompass all aspects of humanity be
Yeah.
the one closest to God.
Yeah.
But who am I to talk?
Yeah. I didn't. It does feel like an add-on. That's just how I feel about it. Like, there's things I really like about this movie, and then now I'm just kind of like, eh. But yeah, he becomes Pope, and Lord Voldemort just kind of walking around, and he's just kind of try to take everything in. If I was him, I would be taking a break too. That's what I think he was doing, anyways.
Hmm.
It was a lot. Good movie though. Good movie.
Very
Really.
good, and I very enjoyed the yeah the intersex like mic drop, I guess you could call it. At least most times in a story, it feels shitty because that
Mhm.
happened a lot in like the 90s where
Mm,
like trans identity would be like almost seen as like a deception
yeah.
where it's like, "Yo, you tricked me. You're not actually a woman. You were born a man."
Hmm.
And it's like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they probably didn't tell you because you're acting like you know how you're acting right now?
Yeah.
Probably
Why?
why
Yeah.
they didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Stalker, right?
Yeah.
But which so it's not my favorite as like a plot device.
Hmm.
as like the I call it like the surprise because it's kind of like
Hmm.
mic drop. They're not who you think they are, and somehow this changes the character, and it's like not really.
No,
It's just like they just
it's just, yeah.
not really, unless that is like a key facet of their being, which it is
Yell at
in
me
most cases.
if I'm wrong. Being intersex, it happens. It's like biology. It does happen to
Yeah.
people. So it's like not,
No, it's not. No, it's a very real
yeah,
thing that happens to people, and
yeah.
it's well, not happens. It's
It's
what they
just
are.
there,
They
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
They are. It doesn't happen to them. It's not a circumstance. Oh, I mean, it is a circum everything, but I
Hmm.
mean, it's not like a condition imposed upon them or like obviously there's probably medical concerns along with it, but I
Hmm.
mean, it in itself isn't like this like
Yeah.
disease
Yeah.
or like issue. It's just how you are born. It
Right.
is, and you are only you and nothing more.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Honestly, we have. Fuck, do you want to do?
we're good.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to rate it, and hopefully we make it. We have 6 minutes left. Let's see if we can get through this
Yeah, we
quickly.
have 6 minutes. We're fine.
Okay, go.
I love this movie.
Hmm.
I think it's great. I think it's really cool. I like the story. I love the ending with Benitez and talking about I am God, I'm what God made me. I'm
Yeah.
between certainties. I
Yeah.
am and truly to me, at least how Benitez is portrayed as a person, both their facets and learned behaviors as an intersex person as well, does portray, at least to my mind, what a pope should act like,
Hmm.
um, at least from my relatively secular viewpoint.
Hmm.
Um,
What's your
someone
rating?
who doubts, someone who grows, someone who's understands multiple aspects of not only theological reality but reality.
Hmm.
So it's going to be it's like a 4.5
Black
f
smoke.
no, 4.5 turtles and beams of light.
Nice. Team, this is my little letter rock for you. I'll make it quick. I'm Catholic, so things in this, like, I can see the beauty. This film's beautiful. I want to go to the Vatican so much. I love the discussions about the goodness in the church, but there's also an ugly underbelly to it, and that's everything, though. Humans weren't made for perfection, and we should not. We should go try to be perfect, but we're not. Humans are not. We are flawed, and I liked how that movie brought it up. Um, I do feel like the intersex thing was kind of like an add-on. I understand why they did it. I completely understand. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just how I
See,
feel.
it's sorry, it's still not my favorite as like a plot device. I
Yeah,
still don't think trans identity or sexual identity should be like a mic drop moment.
yeah. Like
I just don't. I
I
think we've moved
under
past that.
yes, and it's just
Um,
like the first time when it happened, I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, someone was calling me. I had to put
Oh,
it away.
okay, okay. I thought you were like, okay, Connor, wow.
No,
It's
no, no,
just kind
sorry.
of
No.
like, you know, like okay, cool.
Yeah, it's because it's hard in this movie because it makes sense for it to be a mic drop kind of in this context.
Hmm.
You know, like
Hmm.
the conclave of cardinals. Of
Hmm.
course, it would be kind of like a record scratch kind of
Hmm.
moment. Um, so it's hard. I like from a like an ethical standpoint of a story writer, I find it conflicting. But
Hmm.
at the same time, if it works,
Yeah.
if you can do it, it
They
makes sense, and you
it
should continue to
works.
do
It
so.
works. I was just kind of like you had it
Yeah,
works. It could have been that he wasn't intersex, but he is, and it just is, you know? I'm not gonna
yeah,
complain about it too much.
no,
I I don't know how to feel about it exactly, but I'm
yeah.
just kind of like it's okay. And
Hmm.
that's all I can really say, you know? I'm again not anywhere near trained to like
Hmm.
or to talk about it. But yeah, that's the movie. That's the podcast team. Are we doing Star Wars episode 3? Up to you.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, sick. I'm excited. Yeah, guys, we have an email at, you can send us your email. You can yell at us at our email at pleasewatchourpodcast at gmail.com. And we have podcasts and we have TikTok and stuff. All at the same thing. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. I love
Bye.
you.
Do you?